Okay, so picture this. You've just landed, you're tired, you finally get to the hotel reception,
We've all been there.
and you need something, maybe just an extra blanket, maybe direction, something simple.
Right.
But then you get that little jolt of panic, like, wait, how do I ask for this? Am I going to sound demanding or just weirdly formal?
Yeah, that anxiety is really common. It's not just about knowing the words, is it? It's about the feel of the words.
Exactly. Will saying, like, hey, can I get a blanket? Sound rude or impatient.
Or will going super polite sound like you swallowed a textbook?
Right. So we're talking about switching between, casual chat and maybe more professional sounding English, sometimes the same conversation.
Absolutely, and that's what this deep dive is all about. Think of it as your essential hotel survival guide.
We want you to feel confident, knowing how to sound natural or polite or even kind of assertive if you need to, depending on what's happening right then.
Yeah, our mission today is really to help you master what linguists sometimes call code switching.
Code switching.
Okay, it's just that ability to shift between different styles or registers, depending on who you're talking to and the situation. We're going beyond just basic politeness here.
Right. Looking at the strategy behind it.
Exactly. The strategic advantage, especially of using more formal language in these kinds of service environments.
Okay, so let's break down that idea of register straight away. We're looking at phrases that mean the same thing, essentially.
Like, you need a towel, or you want to know about your room.
Yeah, but the way you phrase it, the register you pick, it totally changes the vibe.
And crucially, it can actually change how quickly and, well, how smoothly the staff can help you.
That's interesting.
Well, think about it. Slang, casual chat, it's quick, it builds a sort of connection. It's great for, friendly banter.
Sure.
But formal language, it has these built-in signals. Respect, patience, operational clarity. It's more like strategic communication, really, designed to get something done without friction.
Okay, let's dive into a scenario then. Scenario 1, checking in. You're early, the hotel seems busy, and you suspect your room isn't quite ready.
Right, that classic moment. You need to ask, but you really don't want to sound pushy or entitled.
So what's the casual way? The way you might talk to a friend?
Well, leaning into that informal register, you might just walk up and say something pretty direct, like, hey, any chance my room's ready yet? No, I'm a bit early.
Okay, yeah, that's fast, but maybe a bit blunt, especially if the person behind the desk looks stressed.
It can be. It doesn't really leave them much room, does it? Now, if you want to shift to that more professional, formal register, you're deliberately choosing words that kind of soften the request.
How does that sound?
It starts right from the greeting and then uses what we call hedging language. So more like, good afternoon. I was just wondering if my room might possibly be ready.
Ah, okay. That phrase, I was wondering if, that feels very different.
It does a lot of work, doesn't it? It changes it from a direct question, is it ready, into something more like, could you check this possibility for me? It signals patience right away.
Like you understand it might not be?
Exactly. It shows you that getting a room ready is a process, not just flipping a switch. You're kind of giving them permission to say not yet without making it awkward or confrontational.
And that probably makes them more willing to help you out when it is ready.
Generally, yes. Showing you value their time and effort usually pays off. It builds a little goodwill.
Okay, that makes sense for a potentially stressful situation like check-in. What about something simpler? Like scenario 2, asking for extra towels. We all do that.
Right, and this is where people often just default to slang because, well, it feels like low stakes.
Yeah, you just need towels.
So if you're just trying to get it done quickly, you might pop down or call and say, hey, can I grab a couple more towels?
Okay, yeah, that sounds very informal. Like you're gonna get them yourself almost.
Exactly, even though you're asking them to bring them.
Okay, so that phrasing is fine, people will understand it. But can using really formal language for something small like towels sometimes sound a bit stiff? Or even, I don't know, passive-aggressive if the vibe is relaxed.
That's a really good point. And it touches on the art of code switching, right? Yes, if you overdo the formality constantly, it can sound stiff.
Okay.
But in a professional service place like a hotel, formality isn't necessarily about being stiff. It's often about clarity, transactional clarity. You're sort of speaking the language of their operational system.
Speaking their language. Okay, so what does the strategically formal towel request sound like?
Well, contrast. Can I grab a couple more towels with this? Could I please have a few extra towels sent to my room?
Ah, okay. It's not just the please, though, that helps. It's the sent to my room part. That sounds very specific. operational, like you said.
Absolutely. And this is where it gets interesting, strategy-wise. The casual grab towels is a bit vague on how they get to you.
Right. Do I wait here? Do you bring them?
Exactly. But the formal phrase, could I please have towels sent to my room? That specific verb, sent, often plugs directly into how they manage requests.
How so?
Many bigger hotels use software like a central dispatch or ticketing system to handle guest requests. Towels, maintenance, room service, everything.
Ah, so the person you ask at the desk isn't always the person running the towels up.
Often not, no. So the moment you say sent to my room, that word sent tells the agent exactly what kind of request it is in their system. They click the button, it generates a task for housekeeping or a runner.
Wow, okay. So it cuts down on them having to ask follow-up questions like, and you want those delivered?
Precisely. It reduces the operational friction. So choosing that slightly more formal, more precise register isn't just about being polite. It's actually a strategic move to mesh with their workflow.
Getting your request processed faster and more accurately because you use their kind of language, that's the key insight there.
It really is. I mean, both ways will probably get you towels eventually.
Sure.
But one way helps the system work smoothly. The other way requires the staff to do a little translation step first. The savvy communicator kind of smooths the path for the staff.
That difference really clicks when you think about the scale and logistics of a big hotel. Okay, but now, let's get into the really tricky area. Scenario 3. This is where your language choice feels critical. Making a complaint.
Yeah, this is definitely high-stakes communication. Let's say your air conditioning isn't working, you're hot, you're annoyed.
Oh yeah, frustrated.
And it is so easy in that moment to just blurt out something blunt, driven by that frustration.
So if you're purely in that emotional, maybe slangy zone, what comes out?
It might be something like, hey, my AC's busted, can someone fix it right now?
Okay, busted. That's direct. And right now gets the urgency across.
It definitely communicates frustration effectively, but it also ramps up the potential for friction. That word busted feels very final, very accusatory.
Right, like it's definitely broken and it's their fault.
Exactly. It can put the staff member immediately on the defensive, makes them feel blamed.
So shifting to the formal register here isn't just about politeness, it's like a strategic maneuver to keep things calm even though something's wrong.
Precisely that. You're demonstrating emotional control even when you have a legitimate service failure. Let's break down the formal way.
Okay.
You might start with, excuse me.
Right, signals respect immediately, even with a problem.
Then instead of, it's busted, you describe the issue using that hedging language we talked about. The air conditioner in my room doesn't seem to be working.
Doesn't seem to be working. Okay, that's much softer than busted. Why is that so effective?
It's a really key strategic move. Phrases like, doesn't seem to be, or it appears to be having an issue, or even, I'm having a little trouble with. They avoid making a definitive, blame-heavy statement.
Ah, so you're reporting the symptom you're experiencing.
Exactly. You're reporting the symptom, not diagnosing the root cause or pointing fingers. This keeps the whole interaction professional, more collaborative.
And it gives the maintenance person room to maneuver, right? Like if they come up and it turns out you just hit the wrong button.
Precisely. If you haven't definitively said, it's busted, it's much less awkward for everyone if it's a simple fix. You've prioritized finding the solution over assigning fault.
That makes a huge difference in how people respond.
It really does. The formal register minimizes that emotional friction. And then look at the actual request part. Could you please send maintenance?
Okay, yeah. You're asking for the specific department.
Right, not just fix it. You're showing you understand, okay, this needs maintenance, not housekeeping. It subtly reinforces that you're a reasonable, knowledgeable guest who understands how things work.
So that whole shift from a blunt, maybe angry demand to this polite, specific, problem-describing request that's the core of handling these things effectively in a service setting.
It really is. The formal approach gives maximum clarity about the issue and the needed action, and usually that leads to a faster, smoother resolution, less drama.
Being able to make that switch, to code switch in that tricky moment, that feels like real communication skill.
It's arguably one of the highest forms of linguistic competence, I think. You're consciously choosing the language that positions you strategically for the best possible outcome, even when you're genuinely frustrated.
Okay, so let's pull all this together. We've gone from checking in to getting towels to dealing with a broken AC. What's the main takeaway? The core idea you want people listening to really grab onto?
I think the main insight is this. Slang and casual chat are fantastic. They're your go-to for connection, for quick, low-stakes interactions.
Right, friendly stuff.
But that more formal English, that's your power tool. It's essential for two key things: showing respect to get cooperation and ensuring crystal clear communication when details matter.
So when the stakes go up.
Exactly. When the stakes go up, maybe you're giving complex information, maybe you need to escalate an issue politely, or even just making sure your simple towel request gets into their system correctly. That's when you deliberately shift into that formal register.
The moment you need a really specific, accurate result, like the right repair person showing up quickly or knowing those towels are definitely logged for delivery, you rely on those more precise, polite structures.
Yeah, the professional language helps manage the interaction, the pace, and often the quality of the service you get back.
It's about knowing which tool to use for the job.
Perfectly put. The truly confident communicator, the natural-sounding speaker, understands that language isn't just one thing, it's a whole toolkit. They know when to be conversational and when to deploy that more strategic, formal tool. They adjust their code based on the listener, the situation, the goal. That adaptability, that situational awareness, that's what makes communication really effective.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Which brings us to our final thought for today. We just spent time contrasting, the very casual, my AC's busted,
Right, that very direct emotional reaction.
with the much more strategic, formal, the air conditioner doesn't seem to be working.
That carefully chosen phrasing focused on the symptom, not the blame.
So here's the thought. If understanding and mastering just that one linguistic spectrum, from busted to doesn't seem to be working, can help you navigate a frustrating but relatively simple issue like a broken AC in a hotel.
Where are you going with this?
Well, think about the advantage that same skill gives you in other parts of your life, especially professionally.
Oh, okay. I see.
The next time you have to write, say, a difficult email to a colleague about a project that's gone wrong, are you using busted language? Language that focuses on blame, on failure.
Or are you using that doesn't seem to be working approach? Focusing on the problem itself, the symptoms, and keeping the door open for a collaborative solution.
Exactly. Understanding that power shift just between those two ways of framing a problem. That's huge.
It's the foundation for handling tricky situations, conflicts, disagreements with real confidence and effectiveness. Managing the tone really is managing the situation.
Something to definitely think about next time you're drafting that tricky email or, well, checking into a hotel.